What's up, everybody? It's your man right here, the one and only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, one of the original road warlords, and as always, bring you the knowledge and dropping science in this industry of what we call trucking, okay? I'm doing this particular video to speak about those that are talking about getting into the refrigerated field, and produce happens to be one of the things that you want to get in the field to do. All right. Produce is a very lucrative business, but it can also set you back a very handsome sum. So knowing what to do, how to do it, and when to do it is very imperative, right? Now, what we have in front of us is a certified cold storage warehouse that particularly service Walmart, okay? They service all Walmarts and stuff on the eastern seashore and stuff. You're from North Carolina all the way up to Maine, which is where I'm taking this load here and stuff to Lewiston, Maine. All right, now, what's the difference with some of the produce and stuff is that I know people have heard some of the horror stories about, you know, getting a produce load and stuff and then having it rejected and then have to sit on it for several days and taking it to another place and, you know, just all sorts of bad things and stuff. And so, you know, I've had those same instances and stuff like that, and so I pretty much got a breakdown as to how things work. Now, again, this right here is a certified cold storage warehouse, right, that particularly service Walmart. Now, what they do at this facility is that they get the produce from the farmer. They either get it from the farmer or they get it from international ports and stuff like that, where you can see those containers there. All right, it's brought here, and once it's brought here, they have a series of custom agents that come in here to inspect the load and make sure that it's up to quality, right? And then on top of that, they have the contract with Walmart. So with them having the contract with Walmart, they know the quality of produce. They know the type of quality of produce and stuff that needs to be that Walmart is looking for in order for it to be acceptable. So what they do is that they get the produce, they have the blueprint from Walmart of what type of produce and stuff is acceptable and what is not, and then they go through every single item and make sure that everything is up to par. So then once that is set, then they go into the storage where it's kept. The appointment is set for the load, and once the appointment is set for the load, you come in here and pick it up. Once the load is picked up, you take it over there to the Walmart distribution center, where they then check it one more time, you know, for quality and make sure that, you know, you didn't do anything and stuff, that the temperature was kept at the temperature requested, and, you know, there aren't any damages and stuff according to the shipment. But they can pretty much rest assured that the produce that was shipped from this facility is going to be to the quality and standard of Walmart. So that means that you don't have to worry about your load being rejected, okay? This is what a certified cold storage warehouse does. Now, there are exceptions to the rule, okay? Some farmers will take the chance on shipping their produce from their produce warehouse to the customer. And when you hook up to one of those loads there, once you hook up to one of those loads there and stuff, then, you know, everybody's pretty much taking a chance and stuff. You know, the farmer's taking the chance, you're taking the chance, and then, you know, the customer on the other end is taking the chance. And so, you know, once it get there, then that's when the the USDA checks for the quality and make sure that everything is up to par, and then, you know, then they get the QA to come down there and make sure that the quality is to their standard, to their liking, and then they unload the freight. If it's not up to their quality and standard, then they just pretty much reject the load. They send you on your way, and that's when you now have to make that phone call to the broker, where the broker then has to make the phone call to the farmer. The farmer then has to find someone to buy the load. And so usually in those instances there and stuff, they tell you to take the load to the market, where they usually have some contacts and stuff in there, which takes the load and stuff, and then they do certain things and stuff inside the market that they ordinarily can't do inside of stores and distribution centers. Now, if you usually take this route right here, then these produce loads and stuff aren't very, they pay on average and stuff, sometimes a little bit above average, but I mean, for the most part and stuff, it's not, I mean, it's a fairly decent rate. It's a fairly decent rate and stuff. The only problem is that if you take one of these loads from a certified cold storage warehouse, is that a lot of times these loads cancel. A lot of these times these loads cancel and stuff, whether it be the quality of the freight or the very load itself and stuff not being able to clear customs and stuff like that, and so it's just not here and ready to be ready to be shipped. So that's the risk that you take here and stuff. But other than that, you don't have to worry about rejection on the other side. So like I said, the rate's not very spectacular. Sometimes you can have a little bit of a wait time. It all depends on what's going on this particular day. But for the most part and stuff, it's a very it's a very general. It's just a very general freight. It's just general freight and stuff. For the least. With this particular load right here, I kind of lucked up and stuff because I thought it was going to be like 40,000 and stuff like that. And you see the total weight is 28,589, right? Which is another thing and stuff that I want to say is that when you're picking up loads from the cold storage warehouses and stuff, certified cold storage warehouses, that loads are not going to be very heavy. All right, so those are the pros and cons and stuff of picking up from here. Now, the next step is that you're picking up from a farmer, right? You go out to a farm and stuff. They tell you set your reefer. They got the stuff, either in bins or in boxes and stuff ready to be shipped. And so in those instances there and stuff, right, those loads are going to pay particularly higher. They're going to pay particularly high and stuff. But the thing is that, you're taking a risk, especially if it's going to a distribution center. All right. A grocery distribution center stuff, you are usually going to be taking a chance picking up a load from a farmer to take it to a distribution center, because again, there's no one there, right, from the grocery warehouse to check the quality of the load. What they're saying is that they're going to ship it and they'll check the quality of the load once it gets to the facility. Now, what you have to keep in mind is that, you have to look at those loads and stuff just like, you was a quality control inspector, right? Okay. Would you accept the load if it was in this type of box, in this type of shape, this type of temperature, so on and so forth and stuff? So, it's very imperative that you be on the dock and that you look at how they load this stuff. It's very important how they load it. It's not one of those instances stuff where you just pull up to a dock and stuff and say, well, hey, we'll let you know when you load it. No, it's something that you have to be very active in doing, because you do not want to be in that position where you get to the other side and stuff and they tell you that the load has been rejected. It's not a fun feeling. It's not a fun feeling. It's not fun unless you like being laid over. Unless you like being laid over and stuff, then it's just something where you have to be active. You have to be very active and stuff. You have to look at the dock. You have to look at the boxes and stuff. Check every single box. Sometimes you have to look at those pallets and stuff and say, well, hey, listen, if this was my stuff, would I accept it? Call it out. Take pictures. Take pictures and let folk know and stuff. Hey, okay, all right, they got me loaded, but this is how the load looks and stuff like that. Are we good to go? That sort of thing there and stuff. But again, you got a lot of money on the line, right? And like I said, in some cases and stuff, you might sit there and hit the holy grail and say, well, wow, man, you know what? I booked this load, and this load is paying very hefty. Okay? It's paying very hefty. But I'm breaking that science in a minute and stuff, right? So anyway, you get active, you look at the load, make sure everything and stuff is on the par, and then, you take it, make sure everything is set, do what you're supposed to do, make sure the load doesn't shift, and then once you get to the facility, then it's up to them, and to check the quality and make sure that everything's up to par. If that's the case, then they'll go ahead and take the load on off and stuff, and then you're free to go. But in some cases, that's just not the case and stuff. They may have messed up on the quality of the load, right? Some other things that they might screw up on. The type of bags and stuff that's used in order to put the produce and stuff in. If the weight is off, right? If they put in the wrong bag and stuff, and they put in an it's supposed to be a 10-pound bag, and they wind up putting in a 9-pound bag. Guess what? The load's rejected. Now, it's not your fault. It's not your fault and stuff, but you are definitely going to feel. You're definitely going to feel the repercussions of coming behind that and stuff, which means that once the load of stuff rejected, then you got to pull out there, find somewhere to park and stuff, get the paperwork, and then you have to call the broker and let them know, okay, what was the reason why the load got rejected, right? And that's where the phone calls are going to start coming in. The buyer's going to call you, then they're going to ask you the same question. Okay, why was the load rejected? Did you do everything on your part to make sure that the load and stuff was safe and secure? That's why taking pictures is very important. Every single pallet, take a picture of it. Take a picture of it and stuff, and send it to them and stuff to let them know, okay, all right, this is how the stuff looked when it went on the back of my trailer. This is where they put the temp. This is where they put the temp at. This is where they put the temperature control model. Those sort of things and stuff there. All right. Now, once you answer all those questions and stuff, they get on the phone. They'll find a buyer, and they'll tell you, okay, you need to take it to this particular market. Right now, if you're over here on the northeast seaboard, then you're gonna be going one of three places, either to the Philly market. You're going to be going to Hunts Point market, or you're going to be going to the Boston market. It's 1 to 3. All right. Now, once they sell the load and stuff like that, if you took the load and let's just say it was at an average rate and stuff like that, then they'll work out a new rate for you and stuff. And then, they'll pay you for your downtime and all those things, of course. And, you'll make out pretty good. But let's just say you got one of those loads and stuff, and it was one of those holy grail loads and stuff, and they paid a real high particular price. Then what they do on that end is that they wind up selling it to a farmer. I mean, they wind up selling it to somebody in the market for a certain price or whatever, and then they take the claim out on the load for whatever the loss is and stuff, and then the load winds up equaling being about the same thing you would if you picked it up from, say, here, or you took it for a load for, the average price. They take the claim out and stuff on the rate, and then they send you this rate and stuff like that, and then, like, oh, wow, the load really didn't mount up to what they said it was going to be. So it wasn't the Holy Grail loads after all. But those are some of the situations that you run into, hauling produce. You definitely have to be patient. You have to have patience, man. If you don't have patience, don't haul produce, okay? Because things can happen at a whim. They can happen at a whim and stuff. They have to make sure that everything and stuff is up to par, because one wrong thing can add to a recall. And once you get that recall and stuff, then that's when you got a whole mess of problems and stuff going on then, So, again, if you are not patient, do not haul produce, all right? Do not haul produce and stuff. But, for the most part, it's fairly simple, just following directions, making sure that everything and stuff is up to par, securing the load, and then, of course, making sure that you drive at a safe speed, to where, you're not doing a lot of lane changing, shifting, braking, those sort of things and stuff there, so that the freight can get to the distribution center or to the market in one piece without it being all on the floor and stuff like that. Anyway, this has been your man right here, the one and only, that beautiful Rhode Island Red Rooster, one of the original road warlords, and as always, bringing you knowledge and dropping the science in this industry of what we call trucking. And telling you, as always, continue your research, fact finding studies. Harness on your skills every day. Until next time we talk, next time we meet, be safe, be easy, and peace out.